Hello again, Sebastian.
Oh, it's you again.
Not playing hide and seek anymore?
I've outgrown it.
Sore loser, huh?
I didn't lose. You cheated. Anyway, I've moved on to this now.
A paddleball?
My mum found it for me after I told her I wasn't getting the tin boot I wanted for my birthday.
It's not even your birthday.
That doesn't matter. Anyway, what? Bet you can't do this.
The little brat had me there. Like hula hooping, unicycling, and stilt walking, my facility with a paddleball was on par with my ability to do other completely useless party tricks. Shouldn't you be getting ready for the wedding?
I'm not the page boy anymore. I've been demoted.
How did that happen?
Well, before I started playing with this paddleball, I found a marble in one of the bedrooms. A super-sized one, perfect for bombing.
Whose bedroom?
One of the guest rooms. Mr. Beaumont's, I think. He's certainly lost his marbles.
What did you do with it?
Like my dad taught me, I'm keeping Mum on that one. All I'm going to say is that it was a big mix-up. Mrs. Craddock must have had her sense of humour surgically removed.
So, you think you're good with that paddleball, huh?
Better than you'll ever be. Just name a trick and I can do it.
Bet you can't do the paddleball with your eyes closed.
Look and learn.
I didn't want to damage the furnishings. With Sebastian's eyes closed, I took out my scissors and when the timing was right, snipped.
Hey, what happened to my paddleball?
Oh, the ball just snapped right off there. Maybe you need to practice a bit more. With any other child, I'd feel guilty. With Sebastian, it felt like evening out the cosmic balance.
I bet Mallory was behind this.
I picked up the red rubber ball I'd cut from the paddleball. It looked like a clown's nose.
Welcome back, Murphy McCallan. Take a seat.
I have some more questions.
Ask away.
Are you the one people in the house call the parlor witch?
I've heard that they do. The Belmore brothers approached me to help research the coffin stone. The brothers did everything they could to understand it. A never-ending investigation into science and the supernatural, ranging from the Atlantic to the Pacific. To my deep regret, I was never able to find a way to destroy the stone's power. With no way to destroy it, the only option was to lock it away where no one could find it.
In the vault beneath the house?
That's right. Deep below the house, within a labyrinth of caves, where we pray no one finds it.
The last time I messed around with this kind of thing, I ended up releasing an evil spirit.
Yes, I sensed what happened with Dr. Moray. I'm afraid that man was lured in by theatrics and promises of power he never actually held.
It looked like he had powers to me.
Rackham's spirit had been reaching out for someone he could dupe, but Rackham was always the puppeteer. Moray had no powers whatsoever, except for those manifested by Rackham.
Does Rackham have powers of his own?
I'm afraid he does, Murphy, although I discovered that far too late, to our great cost. I like to think of myself as knowledgeable about magic, but even I'm not sure what twisted powers Rackham wielded to project himself outside of the house. He seems to have power over visions and nightmares, and used that to put his plan into action.
Is it voodoo?
No.
But the summoning spell that I cast, that seemed like voodoo.
The manuscript you carry in your pocket is far older than the origins of voodoo in this region. It is a real spell. The icons of voodoo that adorn it are merely a distraction. I suspect Rackham has a knowledge of magic far older.
So it's a forgery?
More something in disguise.
Why couldn't he get Dr. Moray to cast a summoning spell?
A wise question. Magic doesn't work equally for everyone. Each spell depends on the person who casts it. Some spells work only for someone whose heart believes. Others work only for the person who rightfully owns the talisman. Some spells, no matter how much is invested in them, simply don't work at all. Moray was the bait, but Rackham needed someone more attuned to actually complete the spell.
I traded Dr. Moray for the Gree that enabled the summoning spell.
No, Murphy. Moray may have been the broker, but you cast your trade into his spirit pool. You traded Rackham for the Gree, the same Gree that unleashed that terrible spell on Abigail.
I should get back to trying to open the vault.
May fate be in your favor, Murphy.
Good evening, Mrs. Craddock.
Chairs at the far end, tables on the left.
Oh, it's you again.
Where have all the guests gone?
To their rooms to get ready. Here I am tidying up after the waltz while they just waltz away.
How long until the wedding begins?
Just a few hours. Oh, good gracious, a few hours. And there's still so much to do. I'm sorry, but I can't stand around chitter-chatting. There is much work to be done.
You seem a little stressed.
Correct. And with all due respect, and I'm sure we can both agree much respect isn't due at all, talking to you only makes it worse.
You need to find a way to relax, Mrs. Craddock.
I don't think people realize how this job takes a toll on one's health. My doctor told me I need to rethink my diet, so I've decided to go more continental, by which I mean a glass and a half of wine with each meal and polishing off the bottle before bedtime. A la Francais.
Where's the wedding cake gone?
I had to hide it.
Hide it? Why?
Somebody had already helped themselves to a slice of cake. And I bet I know exactly who it was, Mr. McCallan.
Oh, really?
That horrible pock boy. The knave with his hand on the tarts. Perhaps the Queen of Hearts had good reason for her framework of justice.
I heard you had a run-in with Sebastian Bach and his marbles.
Oh, goodness gracious. You must be talking about the marble he found in Mr. Beaumont's chambers, I presume.
That's right. What happened to it?
Well, that little deviant was supposed to be making himself useful as a page boy by watching over Mrs. Pritchett, our most elderly guest. Instead, with a single flick, Sebastian managed to bounce his marble off the skirting board, ricochet it off the chandelier, and land it right on top of Mrs. Pritchett's hairpiece.
Well, kids will be kids, I suppose, as long as he got the marble back.
It wasn't a marble at all. It was Mr. Beaumont's glass eye. And you know what he said? He said he was keeping an eye on her like he was told.
I heard you didn't send a wedding invitation to Captain Moot.
Well, of course he didn't receive an invitation. He was dismissed from his employment weeks before the wedding for crashing the flagship of the Belmore fleet.
He's very upset about it. Don't years of service outweigh one accident?
Accident? I suppose you never learned exactly why he crashed the ship, did you?
Actually, no, I didn't.
We discovered that Captain Moot used to invite ladies up to the bridge after hours. Dozens of ladies over the years. He'd take them on moonlit cruises around the island and, goodness gracious me, paint them with no clothes on. Draped over the ship's wheel, stretched out in the rigging, dangling from the anchor. Apparently, he must have gotten a bit too carried away with his brushstrokes on the final painting, because he didn't see the rocks the ship crashed into.
Ah, that would certainly be distracting.
Indeed.
I'll leave you to get on with your work.
How thankful I am for life's little blessings.
had an idea. One that required skill, subtlety, and finesse. Or at least the ability to hurl a billiard ball through an open doorway. Yoink!
Did you just touch the table?
Absolutely not.
Ow! Who threw that?
Hello again, Captain Pemberley.
Welcome back, Captain McCallan.
That's a very nice trophy in the corner.
Well, it didn't start out as a trophy. We needed something spherical, so we just gilded a cannonball from over at Fort de la Moor. Polished up like a trombone in a marching band. A lot of elbow grease went into that shine, and currently these wrists have enough lubrication for a 12-lane bowling alley.
Are you saying that's your trophy?
That's right, boy. Champion billiards player of the Captain's Club. Keeps the other captains on their toes. Or peg leg in the case of Wooden Willie.
Surely he can't like being called that.
Too true. I think his peg leg is actually ceramic, but then the alliteration doesn't work.
I'd like a rematch at English billiards.
Thinking you can beat what I hit before? Step right up. I don't believe it. I've never seen 14s before. You must have arms like the coupling rods on a steam train.
A blessing and a curse, as I've discovered more than once to my own cost. But I don't like to boast. Does this mean I win the trophy?
I'm afraid it does, but you need to bring it back next Wednesday for the potluck. We'll have a rematch then.
With my newfound title as club billiards champion, it was time to claim my trophy. Good evening, Captain Moot.
If you say so.
I found out why Mrs. Craddock rescinded your invitation. You were caught painting naked ladies on the ship's bridge. That's why you crashed the ship.
Maybe that's true, but you'd think she'd have been more understanding about the whole thing.
Why's that?
She was the naked lady I was painting when we crashed.
I'm the club's new champion billiards player.
Did you beat old Pemberley?
Beginner's luck, I suppose.
Ha! Looks like all those days at the bays haven't paid off, Gifford. Boy, you'll have to have a party to celebrate.
Sure, Moot. Just make sure to get an invitation so you don't have to crash the party. We all know how much you enjoy crashing things.
I switched on the lighthouse light.
Do you want a medal?
I better be off.
So long.
As I directed the light along the coast, it caught the polished brooch I'd placed on the cairn, reflecting back the light fantastically, like a signal mirror. I needed to load some gunpowder into the cannon first. It was the gunpowder barrel the cat had knocked over, now spilling out its contents onto the cold stone floor. I took a handful of the spilled gunpowder. I poured the gunpowder into the cannon. I loaded the billiards trophy into the cannon, spherical and solid metal. It was the perfect improvised cannonball. I packed in the gunpowder and makeshift cannonball. Now there were just 2 steps remaining. Aim and fire. Whoa! With the brooch at Crossbone Cove reflecting light back from the lighthouse, I knew exactly where to aim. I took a match out of the matchbook and lit the cannon's fuse. I felt like a pirate captain about to unleash a broadside barrage. Ready the cannons, you scurvy scallywags! Pull the ship to port, down with the mainsail! Buckle your swash and fire! That looks like it might have worked.
Well, blow me down. What's happened here?
Did you do this, Murphy?
I needed to find a way in.
Well, Aladdin, I think you found your magic cave.
The cannon fire had worked. The boulders that had fallen in the rock slide were now rubble strewn across the beach, revealing what I'd been searching for, a dark cave winding into the cliffside. A ghostly glow flickered from the far end of the cave as I slipped on the seaweed-covered rocks trying to reach it. I began to fear the worst, but as I emerged in the subterranean chamber, I discovered it was actually the otherworldly glow of plankton. It was a rock formation at the far end of the cave, but was it natural? I'd read about phytoplankton before, and how its glow was triggered by the vibration of movement around it, but nothing compared to the magic of seeing them. Disturbed by the gentle wash of the waves, algae in the water was glowing blue. Outstretched across a sandbank was a sea-worn skeleton. It must have been Xavier Belmore. I found you, Xavier. Your final expedition won't have been in vain.
I grow weary of your inability to heed my warning, Murphy McCallan. No good shall come from you pursuing this.
What you've done to Abigail Belmore cannot be allowed to continue.
Abigail Belmore is dead, as will you be if you continue this pathetic charade.
She deserves to be free, just like all the ghosts of the manor.
You haven't learnt, have you, McCallan? Everything you've done so far has just made the situation worse. Now is the time to back out.
I'll never do that, Rackham. Finding the treasure is more important to me now than it's ever been.
Then I hope it's a cause you're willing to die for. Just as Xavier Belmore drowned in the rising tide of this cave, so shall you.
When Rackham's earthquake finally stopped, I realized the route I'd followed into the cave was blocked. Tons of impenetrable rock and rubble now stood between me and the outside world. I was trapped. The only source of light was the glowing algae in the water, but even that dimmed to darkness when it went undisturbed in the quiet cave. At any point, the cave could fill up with seawater, drowning me just as it had Xavier. I needed to find a way out. I scooped up some of the algae water. With a quick shake to agitate it, the bottle began to shine like a blue lantern. As I stood still, I noticed the algae beginning to dim. I'd read that its glow was triggered by vibrations, and without my footsteps, it was getting darker. As the darkness dimmed in the cave, I began to make out a faint luminescence in the form of a whirlpool. Some turbulence beneath the water was making the algae glow, and I hoped it might be an underwater tunnel. That might have been my only way out, but swimming through the darkness would have been far too dangerous. The lights below the water didn't offer much chance of escape, but at least it was better than waiting to drown in the cave. Using the bottle of algae as an underwater lantern, I waded into the water, then dived down below the surface. The underwater tunnels felt like a maze. I pulled myself past jagged rocks and twisting passages, with only the ethereal blue glow of the algae to light my way. Until finally, with only seconds of air left in my lungs, I reached the surface.
Murphy, what are you doing over there? It's dangerous to swim out here, you know. You could get washed into a sea cave or something.
Thanks for the advice, Crab. I'll make a note of that. Green from the seawater I'd swallowed, I could at least say I'd survived being drowned. And now I had Xavier's key. Hello again, Crab.
Hello, Murphy.
I'd like to head back to Dead Nettle, please.
Hop aboard, Murphy.
Welcome back.
Could I use your microscope to look at this coin I found?
Oh, are you a fellow fan of numismatics?
I prefer the old ones.
Yeah, never mind. Go right ahead.
With the microscope calibrated, the coin's writing came into focus. It read, "Into the palm of a prince." The inscription must have been a clue in Cecil's treasure hunt. I just had to find the prince's palm he was referring to. I wondered what I could do with the coin-sized indentation in the statue's hand. Following the inscription on the coin and realizing that the metallic statue depicted an Indian prince, I took a close look at the statue's palm. For the first time, I noticed a slight circular indentation, about the size of a coin. I placed the coin into the statue's hand. It fit the indentation exactly, into the palm of a prince. No sooner had I done it than I heard sparks and hums coming from inside the statue. That's when I realized it wasn't a statue at all. It was an automaton, a robotic figure made to move with cogs, wires, and electrical pulses. It seemed to be fighting to move, but then, nothing.
Well, blow me over with a dandelion. I didn't expect anyone to get that working again.
It's not doing much.
Joints will be frozen, I should think. No wonder after all these years. Another job for me to do, and a dangerous one at that. Who knows how many volts Master Cecil ran through that thing to get it moving.
Using one of the cotton flags, I scooped up some of the gloppy grease. Nope. Using the flag soaked in grease, I began to oil the automaton's joints. I placed the coin back in the automaton's hand and watched. The cap of the scroll case opened and revealed something inside.
Well, there's life in the old thing yet. Gives us all hope, doesn't it?
I picked up the piece of paper that had fallen from the statue. Unrolling it, I discovered it was a death certificate, all filled in except for one key piece of information. The name was missing. It was certainly a clue, but who did it belong to?